Hey everybody, thanks for watching Mike and Olive Review Things.
My name's Olive and this is my dad, Mike.
We're really excited to talk about a new show. First time ever on Disney Plus, which just was released, and we got it, and we were so excited to watch it, and it's called...
The Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian. All right, we're not going to do that again. We're just going to keep that. The Mandalorian, all right? A Star Wars TV show, live TV show, unlike not a cartoon. So I think all the other TV shows they've had are cartoons. Before we start talking about the show, what do you think of Star Wars?
One of my favorite movies.
Yep.
Watching it since I was a baby.
Yep. 3 years old, we started watching. We watched the original trilogy. Well, we watched in machete order, if you know what that is. So that's watching episodes 4 and then 5, and then going back and treating the knowledge that Luke finds out Darth Vader is his father. Spoiler alert.
I'm your father.
And then you go back to episode 2, and you watch episode 2 and 3. You don't watch 1 because nothing happens. That's important. If you were excited about Darth Maul, watch the 6 minutes that he's in on YouTube. And then you go back to episode 6. So we're going to have a lot more Star Wars stuff closer to when Star Wars episode 9 comes out.
Yes.
We also recently went to Galaxy's Edge in Disney. We're also going to do that. We're going to review that. But today, we're going to talk about The Mandalorian. What'd you think? What's your thing? What's your overall thoughts? Your first few thoughts?
My first few thoughts was, you told me it was scary, and it wasn't at all.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just talk about that right now. We usually, anytime we watch a movie or TV show, we talk about, is it scary for kids? It is equal with all the other Star Wars stuff. I mean, if your kids are scared of stormtroopers getting shot with red blasters, you're going to get scared of aliens getting shot with blasters and going, "Whoa." But that's about all. And every once in a while, a creature jumps out. But yeah, I mean, I thought there might have been some scary parts. But you were fine. So, I mean, yeah, if your kids have watched any Star Wars stuff and it scared them, this will scare them.
Yes.
It's a little bit more serious. It's more like a Western or a samurai kind of samurai tale. But I liked it. I thought it was really good. I was very impressed with it. I heard so many good things about it before I watched it because I didn't get to watch it like on day one, and it lived up to the hype. It probably exceeded the hype. The things that I liked the most about it is, if you were a kid in the 80s and you had the original Star Wars action figures, you owned a lot of these action figures that are characters in this. So although the Mandalorian isn't Boba Fett, he's the same race as Boba Fett, and he's a bounty hunter.
Boba Fett again?
He's the one that took Han Solo and Carbonite and brought him to Jabba the Hutt.
Oh,
Yeah, and
that's actually mostly the same thing when that guy looked and he saw these aliens frozen. Or
Yeah,
people,
right.
mostly.
Yeah. There
So
was a
it's
callback
mostly
to
the
that.
same thing.
But it's so cool because there's a scene like in Empire Strikes Back where Darth Vader is talking to all the bounty hunters, and none of these bounty hunters have lines, but they all had action figures. So there's like a robot, there's a droid in that scene that's a bounty hunter, and you're like, wait, droids can be bounty hunters? That droid is a bounty hunter in The Mandalorian. It's really cool, and he gets to shoot. Like, he's got eyes everywhere, so he can just shoot and turn. I mean, that was awesome.
Kind of like an owl, since an owl can almost turn its head the whole entire way, but he turns his eyes.
Yeah. An owl and a bounty hunter droid, exact same thing. Exact same thing. And, oh, really? So Lewis is telling us right now that technically Boba Fett isn't a Mandalorian. He just wears their armor. That's interesting. I don't know if that's true.
Weird.
But obviously this character is based kind of on Boba Fett. So we get the concept. What is something that you didn't like about it?
I didn't like wait. I don't know. I actually really don't know, since
You liked everything?
I mostly don't really dislike anything about Star Wars. I have been liking it since I was 3 and I'm almost 8. So mostly for 5 years.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to find something that I dislike. I thought the first scene with the fish guy, which turns out to be Horatio Sands, and now that you know it's Horatio Sands, you can't ever watch that guy and not think, oh yeah, this is Horatio Sands. It was like kind of weird comedy stuff, and you're like, oh, is this where they're gonna go with this? But it's interesting for sure. I mean, there's a lot of different people in it. Horatio Sands, Taika Waititi. You don't know Taika Waititi. He's Korg in Thor. He was the big rock monster that was like, hey guys, want to start a revolution? Werner Herzog is in it. I mean, crazy. Nick Nolte. There's so many different people in it. And then like Pedro Pascal is the main character, and we never see his face. I mean, I think we'll eventually see his face, but
well, we kind of saw his face in kind of when he was a kid.
Oh yeah, when he was a kid. Yeah, we did see. So they did a flashback, and so hopefully, I mean, we're gonna get more flashbacks. Apparently, the Mandalorians, or I don't know if they're from Mandalore. I don't know, but apparently there was a genocide there, and so he was part of that. And then we're gonna try not to talk about it, but there is something that happens at the end of the episode.
That's the cutest part, and I definitely want to tell it to you, but I can't.
I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. Of just.
Can I tell them it?
No, I don't think we're gonna spoil it because it's just so huge. It's just such a big moment. That it's just incredibly cool that it happened. You find out what he's been searching for, what the people who were part of the Empire are wanting, and that are going to pay him a lot of money, I guess. I mean, it's not really money, it's steel. It's complicated, but that's what's kind of cool about it, is that there's these little weird complications about Star Wars. And these are the things that you used to play with, but you find out what it is, what they've been searching, and what people have been protecting for 50 years, and is incredibly surprising, and it can probably change the course of all of Star Wars. Just to be like, wait, how did that happen?
Didn't we all mostly already tell them?
Well, they did in the comments, but this is, if you're watching on YouTube, you won't get to see the comments that we had during our live stream. And I will say, I was doing a very good job, because every once in a while, she does spoil something when we're reviewing a TV show or a movie, and I just cut it out in the edit. So, I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty impressive. And I think some people don't like that you can't watch all 8 episodes or 10 episodes or however many it's going to be all in a row like you can with Netflix. But I like the idea that we're going to get to talk about this every single week. I mean, there's conversation in our live thread right now about what we should name the thing that they found at the end of it. I mean, and I've been listening to podcasts about like the idea of how did that thing even get created? There's like 1 of 4 different ways. It could be a clone. It could, like, who knows? I don't want to get too much into it. But, I mean, it's pretty impressive. All right, so we really like The Mandalorian, but what is our grades?
My grade is a 10.
A 10. Big. Only given a few 10s. I'm going to give it an 8. I think it's really good. But I don't know. I'm not going to give it a 10 yet. Hopefully we'll review more episodes, and maybe I'll give another episode a 10. I think it's gonna get better. So if I give it a 10 now, it can only go down from there. So it's not like I'm gonna give it a 10 plus or something like that. Yeah.
The last part is the best part.
The last part is the good part. I will say it went from like a 7 to an 8 right away with that last part. So thanks for watching this episode of Mike and I'll Review Things. We're going to have a lot more Star Wars content coming up. Lots more. So hopefully you stick around and you watch that stuff.
Bye.
Bye.